Hello, Stoic. Today, you're going to learn about 4 essential things in a man's life: where, who, what, and why. Now pay attention. These 4 elements define your life at this very moment. Where refers to the environment you're in, the challenges and the opportunities around you. Who is the person you choose to be? Your virtues, your identity, and the kind of man who faces the mirror every morning. What represents your actions, the daily battles, the small and big decisions that shape your destiny. And why? That's the most powerful of all. It's your purpose, your reason for getting out of bed and facing the world head-on. The Stoics knew that living without clarity in these 4 aspects means drifting through life. If you don't know where you are, if you're not aware of who you are, if you act without intention, and if you don't understand the why behind each choice, then you're merely a spectator in your own life. And let me tell you something. A real man cannot afford to live like that. In this video, I want to break down each of these pillars and help you understand how you can take control of your existence with strength, discipline, and purpose. Just a few of you watching are subscribed, so fix that now. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss an upload. Who are you really? Have you ever stopped to think about this question? Seriously? Comedian Mitch Hedberg once told a funny story. He was interviewed by a radio host who asked, "Who are you?" At that moment, he wasn't sure if it was a deep question or if he had just tuned in to the wrong station. Now tell me, when someone asks you, "Who are you?" what do you say? You probably respond with your name, your profession, maybe where you live. But does that really define who you are? Or are you just giving the easiest, most superficial answer? Most men don't know how to answer this question. And it's not because they lack an identity. It's because they've never stopped to reflect on it. They've never truly asked themselves, who am I beyond my job? What do I really want out of life? What do I stand for? And what do I believe in? Am I living according to my values, or just going with the flow? This is serious, because if you don't know who you are, someone else will tell you who to be. Society, the media, other people's expectations, they will shape you without you even noticing. And by the time you wake up, it might be too late. I need to tell you about Marcos's life. Do you know him? It's very likely that you do. Marcos was a good guy. He always did everything right. He grew up hearing that he needed to study, get a good job, get married, buy a house. So he followed that path, never questioning it. He was good at what he did, but he felt empty. Something was missing. Time passed, and he saw other men living with intensity, with purpose, while he was just existing. One day, a friend asked him, "Who are you?" Marcos laughed, thinking it was a silly question. But his friend insisted, "Who are you really? If I took away your job, your house, your family, what would be left?" The truth hit like a punch to the gut. He realized he didn't know the answer. He had become just a reflection of what others expected of him. And when a man doesn't know who he is, he becomes vulnerable. Vulnerable to other people's opinions. Vulnerable to the fear of taking risks. Vulnerable to regret. This could be your story. It could be any man's story. Anyone who wakes up one day and realizes they're not really living, just surviving. The Stoics taught that self-knowledge is the foundation of a well-lived life. Epictetus said, "First, say to yourself what you are, and then do what you have to do." In other words, before chasing success, money, or status, you need to ask yourself, who am I? And more importantly, who do I want to become? That means stopping the autopilot. It means cutting out the noise, logging off social media for a while, stopping the comparisons, forgetting external validation, and digging deep within yourself. Here's what you need to do. If you want to know who you really are, answer these questions like your life depends on it. Wait, before that, if this message is hitting you hard, if it's making you think in ways you never have before, then don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button so more men can wake up to this truth. Subscribe and turn on notifications because this is just the beginning. We're building a community of men who refuse to live on autopilot, who choose discipline, purpose, and self-mastery every single day. Now, let's get to it. Question 1. What would I do every day if money weren't an issue? Question 2. What are the 3 qualities I admire most in a man? Do I have them? Question 3. If I had to teach something to the world, what would it be? Question 4. What makes me feel alive? What makes me feel dead inside? Question 5. If I died tomorrow, would I be proud of what I left behind? Did you answer? Now comes the hard part. You need to act according to your answers. If you say you value courage but avoid challenges, you're lying to yourself. If you say you want freedom but live trapped by the fear of what others think, you're betraying your own values. You need to align thought and action. That's what it means to live with integrity. I know it's hard. I've been there too. I've been lost before. There was a time when I thought my identity was my job, my status, my appearance. But all of that can disappear overnight. And when it did, I realized that the only thing no one can take away from a man is who he is on the inside. That's when I decided to become indestructible. Not physically, but mentally. I decided that no one else would define who I am. And let me tell you something important. This doesn't happen all at once. It's not some magical epiphany. It's a process. It's daily training. It's saying no to what doesn't represent you. It's surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to be better. It's creating a personal code of conduct and following it, no matter what. It's looking in the mirror and day after day, liking the man you see more and more. That's power. That's being unbreakable. That's being a modern Stoic. Life won't wait for you to figure out who you are. Time doesn't stop. If you keep letting the world shape you, 10 years from now, you'll look back and realize you wasted the opportunity to live with purpose. But if you decide right now to take control, to truly know yourself, to align your actions with your principles, then nothing can stop you. The philosopher Seneca said, "If a man does not know to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." So I ask you, do you know where you're sailing? Or are you just drifting with the current? Reflect on this quote from Marcus Aurelius for a moment. A person who doesn't know what the universe is, doesn't know where they are. A person who doesn't know their purpose in life doesn't know who they are or what the universe is. A person who doesn't know any one of these things doesn't know why they are here. So what to make of people who seek or avoid the praise of those who have no knowledge of where or who they are? Marcus Aurelius, Meditations 8:52. If you don't know what the universe is, how can you know your place in it? If you don't know your purpose, how can you know who you are? And if you don't know either, how can you know why you're here? Now pay close attention. Marcus Aurelius ends this reflection with a brutal truth. He warns us about something that cripples the lives of many men: the obsession with other people's opinions. Why do you care about the judgment of people who don't even know where they are or who they are? Have you ever noticed how much time we spend trying to please people who don't even have their own lives under control? How we seek approval from those who, deep down, are just as lost as we once were? This needs to stop. Right now. The Stoic understands that the only approval that matters is his own. The only judgment that counts is his conscience. The only path worth following is the one aligned with his principles. If you know where you are, who you are, and why you are here, nothing can shake you. No praise will make you arrogant. No criticism will paralyze you. So let me ask you, are you going to keep living through the eyes of others? Or are you finally going to take ownership of your own existence? The answer isn't in the universe, it's in you. And the time to decide is now.